My name is Vic Pruitt, and I am the preaching minister of the Holly Hill Church of Christ. We are currently in the auditorium of the Holly Hill Church of Christ. It is here that I preach every Sunday. We typically have over 200 people here in our worship services. Now, the Holly Hill Church of Christ exists in the Daytona Beach area. We are surrounded by communities like Ormond Beach, Holly Hill, Daytona Beach, Port Orange. We are in an area of nearly 300,000 people.
So you could come here and worship God in our church building, or you could go 2 miles from here
Or you could be here in this place just a couple of miles away from the Holly Hill Church of Christ. Of course, we're at Daytona Beach, which is the most famous beach in the world, supposedly. And that probably is because of the fact that so many people come from all over the United States to be able to vacation, get away from their problems, be able to relax and enjoy what's going on with their family. And of course, not too far from here, you also have million-dollar mansions, just one after the other on the beach. So the mix between the mansions and the beach, it's easy to be able to get caught up in all of this and ignore the fact that there's something very different in our community. Or you could be here, 2 miles south of our church building, in which there is tremendous amount of poverty, where you have families who have no home, no idea where food's coming tonight, and we have homeless shelters and people roaming the streets. It's easy to be blinded by the beauty of the beaches, the wealth that exists there, and to ignore what we have here in our community, where there are people living on the wrong side of the tracks, where there are people who are trying just to find day to day how to make ends meet. The question I have is do we see these people? Are we able to see them? And do we have a desire to use our effort, to use our strength, our resources to minister to them?
Now, my job responsibilities include preaching, teaching, working with the eldership, providing vision, also pastoral care. One of the things I'm charged with is working with the youth committee, helping them create a vibrant youth ministry that helps the teens here in our community and also in our church. Some of the things that I help organize are trips to Winterfest and camp, and also short-term mission trips. And that brings us to our question. Do short-term missions, do they have a positive impact on our teenagers? Do they help us see what's going on in our community? And so let me tell you a little bit about our mission trip. The youth group from the Holly Hill Church of Christ, along with several adults, went on a short-term mission trip to Tegucigalpa, Honduras in the summer of 2016. There, we built homes for the homeless and for those who did not have adequate shelter. We built 6 homes in all. We were also able to go to a village that did not have a school or even access to a school, so we were able to partner with the people of that community and build one. It was a great experience. We also went into the hospitals where we spent time with children, many of whom asked us to pray with them. Many of these children were abandoned. We also were able to go to the market and collect fruits and vegetables and be able to share them with people around the city, especially those who were hungry and did not have access to such things. We were able to provide medical care through a clinic in several villages to people who lived miles from hospitals and clinics. And finally, we went and spent time in a blind school where we were able to play games and to enjoy fellowship with these children and share songs together. Overall, our time in Honduras was a special one, and we were grateful to have the experience. Which brings us to our research question. Did increased involvement in service and volunteer efforts occur in high school students who returned from a short-term mission trip? In other words, do high school students who participate in short-term mission trips volunteer and serve others in their context? As a minister at the Holly Hill Church of Christ, it is my hope that our teenagers are growing closer to the Lord, that they have a love relationship with Him, that they also have a desire to help and serve others. Therefore, the time and the effort, the money we spend in raising money for these mission trips, it is our hope that these trips are helping teens realize that relationship with God and the responsibility to others. It is my belief that Christians are to actively serve and minister to others, that we're to follow the command to love our neighbor, to minister to people, that we would help the poor, that we would serve the marginalized, that we would have eyes to see people who are hurting and the desire to minister to them. Our teens have expressed that the foreign mission trips that we've taken are eye-opening experiences, and no doubt they now know that when they go on these mission trips that there are hurting people, that there are poor people in foreign countries. But what about this country? When they come back from these trips, does something change? Do they begin to see people? Do they notice the marginalized people in their school? Do they see the hurting people in the community, those who are poor, those who are struggling, those who need help? Do they notice even the need to serve in their own home? It is our hope that these mission trips change the way they see people and their willingness to be involved, that they're willing to involve themselves and to serve, to use their resources to help others. And of course, through the use of a mechanical puzzle, we're going to ask the hard questions. Through your support, you are the X Factor board, and we need your support to help us be able to do a thorough investigation, to ask these questions, to be able to do the research so that we can know how to not only do a mission trip effectively, but so that we can help our teens become the people that they're meant to be. I'm open to making the changes that we need to make in the way we do mission trips. I am willing to make changes in the way we prepare for them and the way that we also do our follow-up when the mission trip is over. Not just so that we have the knowledge that there are hurting people in other countries, but so that our teens will know that there are people in their community that need help. And through these efforts, we can modify how we do these things so that our teens will be able to see that there are people who are hurting, who need their help in their context, in their schools, in their community, even in their church. More importantly, we at Holly Hill want our teens to follow the example of Christ. We want them to have the humility of Christ, to value others above themselves, to not be worried about their own interest, but to seek the interest of others, to have the mindset of Jesus Christ, who in the very nature God did not consider equality with God something to be grasped or to be used for his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing, taking on the very nature of a servant. Through this study, we want to learn how these short-term mission trips encourage that kind of lifestyle, to follow the example of Christ, that they would have eyes to see, ears to hear, hands and feet willing to help others.
I believe that we're able to answer this question about teenagers and their involvement in short-term missions and how it impacts their ability to see the need around them in their context. And through your support, the X Factor board, I think together we're able to make a difference in the lives of teenagers, not so that they just see a need in a foreign country, but so that they can be involved in meeting the needs in their community here. Thank you for your support.